Hey, welcome back to Bloodlust. uh, since last time I played this, I learned that, yeah, this kind of reset its volume. I think it was that there. No, one more. That's where the volume was. I learned that the main character is a man. Well, a boy. Oops. And I thought that he was a girl. I thought there was like lesbian romance in this, but unfortunately there's none. So, now this guy's just a pussy. And if you're gonna have long hair like that, you gotta grow a beard, man. I get it, you're like 17, but you're white, so should be easy for you to grow a beard then. This ringing noise, it's part of the music. So yeah, the door's locked from the inside. That is horrifying noise. Shut the fuck up, Janie. Janie, don't you like adventure? Don't you have an imagination? That's why I thought Reed was a girl, because he's too much of a pussy bitch to tell the kid that her parents are dead. Actually, I don't even... Maybe the kid's a boy, too. Kid has to be a girl, come on. Let's get up in here. Alright, we're in the library. Look pretty spooky. Okay. Now we can come through the front door, so that's cool. So, yeah, I don't know. We just got here, so not sure if it's gonna be like a carbon copy of the school area or what, but hopefully not. That was the window, okay. We're going this way. What's this library? It looks like a fucking mansion. Why don't I get a mansion library in my city? Yeah, it's kind of like a maze. So Janice, congrats on the new baby. Hope it will grow to be a healthy and happy child. You'll be a great mother. I'll miss you. I know this world will be a wonderful place for your child to grow up in. The other day I witnessed an accident. A pedestrian was crossing the crosswalk on a green light when a careless driver turned left onto her. The driver screeched her brakes as the pedestrian turned towards the car as she lifted her left leg, resulting in her foot getting caught by the right front tire and sucking her in, mangling her body and slamming her body against the concrete as the car tried to come to a stop. Witnesses rushed to the scene of the accident and saw the grotesque sight. The woman's body had not only scraped across the concrete, scraped. Her lower limbs were crushed and twisted as well. Crimson red started to leak out of her and onto the ground. She looked up at us, unable to take in what had just happened to her, too shocked to believe. The driver got out and she let out a wail before collapsing to the ground. That she had created this destruction of a human body. Onlookers screamed, groaned, threw up in disgust, but no one made a move to call for help. They were waiting for someone else to do it. Call the ambulance, I said, as I looked at a middle-aged man in the crowd. What? I don't have a phone. Do you all want to stand here and watch this woman die? What do you mean you don't have a phone? Everybody has a phone in the 21st century now. It's 2006. Alright, it's 2006. The man stared for a moment as the others looked at him, and he hastily got out his phone and began to dial the emergency number. Well, you got out your BlackBerry, your Nokia? Members of the crowd looked at me. I addressed the crowd. What, you've never seen something like this? She got caught between the car and the tire. What do you think you should be doing? I turned toward the dying woman and kneeled down to look at her. She looked at me again, her eyes full of apprehension, confusion, and death. It's okay, I assured her. Help will arrive. They'll come and take you to the hospital. I don't want to die. She looked at her lower body. Will I be crippled for life? Crippled. This was her concern, was it? She hadn't spared a small chance that living in her worries fell upon being crippled. What sympathy I might possibly have for this woman was quickly dissipating. This was not a being worthy of life. It was getting what it deserved. That's pretty edgy. Even if you go to the hospital, I resumed, my voice lowering to a whisper, you will be dead before you get there. Her eyes widened significantly, tears began to well up. No. Happy to see that you will be dead soon. It was a good move on the driver's part. You're not worthy of a living. How could you say that? Fuck. I gave her a grim, twisted smile. Her contorted face was giving me a sick and wonderful feeling. Goodbye, I said menacingly, and as if by my words I watched as her eyes rolled to the back of her head and she spasmed, perhaps from loss of blood. I raised up and turned to the crowd. She's lost consciousness. She's gonna die. I twisted my face as if in deep agony. The crowd reacted appropriately, and I could feel their panic. But I could not feel anything within. Even as I cried and shouted that help come quickly, within my heart I felt nothing. I was cold. I had no empathy nor sympathy for any of these creatures. Their suffering was my only joy. What have I become? Why can't I feel anymore? Have I lost my humanity? You don't deserve to live. What's that one called? Empathy. Mary, in order to unlock any of the rooms, you need to go into the staff room. Don't forget the keypad code because it is really hard to unlock the door without it. Well, what's the keypad code? Oh, I want you to sort the young adult 100s and the mysteries at the 500s before leaving today. Also, please do the 600s and 900s. They are reference books. Make sure you take care of those sections before you leave. It's very important that I take care of the sword in that order. Is this like a... Is that the keypad code for a riddle? Just gonna write that down just in case. Library is big. Map just for reference, so I don't get lost. Also keep extra card hidden behind my bookshelf. Okay. Which bookshelf is it? There it is. There's like small ambient music. I don't know if like a laptop fan is making it so you can't hear it or not. I don't know. Yeah, so I looked online on the description for this, and it says there's 5 different places that you go through, so this is like the second. So that means there's actually a lot more of this game, so it's cool. Yeah, so there's no save here. Shit, he's wounded. This world turned to hell. Okay, so the I was right. That's a girl that we have. My name is Franco. Ugh, not that it matters. I don't think I have much longer to live. Franco. Never could have seen it coming. I was attacked by some demon spirit. I was always a believer in the paranormal, but I never would have thought that something so dark and evil would emerge if I hadn't dodged its second swing. Ugh. Franco. Yeah, but why does it matter? This world is rich, and I don't want to live in it anymore. Let him die. There's no need to be in this jaded world. What has come is what was deserved. The evil of the people have finally caught up to them. Their crimes have risen up. Now we're all going to pay the price for mankind's sins. I like Franco. Franco. Like all of the names in this are names I've never heard. Oh yeah, I mean Hannah I've heard, Johnny obviously. Crystal, yeah, but Reed, Janie, Franco. What is that? What is that? I have no reason to live anymore. We will all die anyway in the end. Ha ha ha. I failed in this world too. The mistakes I made are irreversible, and that's why I've been doomed. I should have known better. Can we just leave him there? Reed, he's peaceful. He wants to die. He'll be in peace after death. Why do you want to ruin everything? You could have killed the little girl and then she could die knowing her parents were alive. There's something over here. Alright, so, yeah, I don't know where to go because this place is pretty big. Probably have a key card to open, like, the staff door or whatever. I don't know where that is. Hold on. Where's the staff? Oh, right, I have a map. Of course. That's... Is it main staff or staff control? I want to go out and save again, though. I have to go, like, all the way back, though. Oh no, that's where the staff is. No, that is not the staff, never mind. That's the other staff room. Yeah, we're too deep in this. I can't go back out and save. Can't save scum this. We're not on hard mode. Hard mode warrants the save scumming. Franco. Okay, what was it? 1569. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, that was it. Well, Saint, you're a genius. I am now a hand. Whoa, that's a bug. Whoa, that's a bug. I don't want to be a hand. Anyway, this is going to be fixed. I stuck. Okay, there we go. I'm still a hand, though. I don't want to be a hand anymore. I've been a hand all my life. Franco... Oh, he's dead. I told you, let him die. He's happy. Jesus Christ. You should have left Janie back at the school. Now you're traumatizing her. She's gonna know her parents are dead. You're horrible. You're a horrible person. Still want to use the rifle though. Do I though? How many clips? Oh, I got a lot of clips. Yeah, we're just gonna... Well, shouldn't we use it while we still have it? I don't know. Okay, so can we please stop being this hand? This has gone on long enough. I need to go back and save. Oh, it's probably locked us in. Oh, I didn't mean to reload. I should have done that too as well, though. God, we're still a hand. Hold on. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try this again. Oops. I'm gonna try the keypad thing again. Hopefully we don't turn into a hand again. So, for this, get that, read this, collect it, read this, read that, read that, get it, get this, talk to Franco. Let him die. God damn it. Think there's any way to fix this? Just gonna be hands. I'm sure if we go in battle again, we'll restore ourselves, right? No? I don't think there's any way around that. So yeah. Right, so all the doors are unlocked, I think. Right, map. guess I would go to main staff then. These are jam doors. Okay. There's another save. Didn't have to save. Just making sure. Fix it, fix it. She didn't even have any shoes on. I thought I put these on. It's whatever. Whatever. Got the master key. Probably like edit the sprite because I have the engine that this game is running in. Sorry, that's loud. It's really ruining it for me, you know? Maybe it's intentional. You ever think about that? Maybe. Okay, Beauty and the Breast. Year 2004, there once was a girl named Shirley. Though she could have been like any other girl, she had the misfortune of a hideous face. It earned her the scorn and disgust of her peers from early age. Vertical and isolation was something she knew well, and even then she longed for acceptance, though her parents were kind folk. Simply not enough, she needed approval of her peers. The most she got was patronizing pity. It wasn't enough for Shirley. She grew older, her computer became the gateway to substitute social life. She could ridicule girls she found attractive, strike back at those who would normally be the ones laughing at her. However, it's not enough. It's approached by a boy named Brad. Brad was surprisingly kind, even a bit flirty. I don't want to read this. Just skim over it. Wow, it was a date. Great. She had put a dress on. She still looked horrible. Brad ditched her. Bitch, I was just fucking with you. Just wanted to see if you thought anyone could actually like your ugly ass. Nice one, Brad. Shard ripped into her neck vein. She smashed her head against the wall. The bathroom became a display of the hatred she felt for herself. So later, her parents returned home to find their hideous daughter dead. Her hideous face had improved. She was not so ugly anymore, but it was something that no one, including Shirley, would have a chance to appreciate. The end. That's what you do when you're ugly. You mutilate your face. But you get a doctor to do it for you. No. No. Oh, cool. Like for me, example, I get fiddly with children. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I like to rape kids. It's a pastime. Yeah, let me tell you something, buddy. Here in Secrets, we don't give a damn where you come from. It's a place where you spill, and the secrets don't ever go out. We don't judge. I mean, morality is relative, you know? Well, they got something special if you make the big spill. I'm a pedophile. I'm proud of it. I want to be a woman. The man shrugged. Wow, that's disgusting. You're horrible. Pedophilia is much more normal. That's what he says. This stuff is what we call elixir. Believe it or not, it lets you live out your secrets. Go on, give it a try. He really was a woman. Oh, there's no more elixir. It's your tainted, corrupted blood that gives it life. Did you think your immoral indulgence into mankind's sins were for free? Why me? He cried out. I'm not a rapist, I'm not a pedophile, I'm not even a murderer. Why kill me? Your secret is not a crime, but do you think I haven't seen what you started to do as your elixir intake grew deep? A woman who doesn't consent to someone suddenly engage in sex with her is being raped. You're all guilty. You're all rapists. I'm gonna turn you into fancy drink. This is organic flesh mixed with the vile taint of the pulpy crimson secrets around him. The end. Yeah, you don't want to try to be a different gender. That's gonna get you killed. Don't do that. That's the moral of the story. Okay, I already had one of these. Oh, it's better than a jacket. I didn't know that. There's a knife. A sword. A sword. I like the pipe though. Okay, she's gonna get the pipe then. More rifle clips, even though I want to use the pistol, I guess. There's more story. The mother had triplets, hence 3 little babies. That's the title. You get it? They hired a psycho babysitter. The psycho swung around with the baby back and flung it forcefully at a drawer. The first little baby's head made impact with the sharp corner of a gesture. It was immediately killed as it fell to the floor, its dumb, blank expression just as dead. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. The other 2 babies sensed this, and their faces scrunched up to cry. The sick, depraved psycho became ecstatic as she grabbed the second little baby. She picked it up by the neck as she began to tighten her grip. The baby's face, already red from crying, grew even redder as it made futile, disgusting attempts to breathe. After a few minutes, the baby's eyes rolled up as it hung, lifeless, a horrid stink emitted from its diaper. The second little baby had shit itself in the process of dying. The sick, depraved psycho flung it aside. Finally, she was at the third little baby. This one's cries were especially getting to her. It would have to pay dearly. Picking it up, she took it and began to sway it in her arms, smiling and cooing the best she could without puking up. The baby eventually calmed down, persuaded by the sick, depraved psycho's warm, pretty face and the feel of her soft, soothing breasts. The baby smiled as the psycho took it out of the room, having a special plan for the third baby. She entered the kitchen and set the baby down on a table. Looking around, she finally moved over and found her choice. Opening the oven, the table, and picked up the baby. It stared at her with that same ugly look, and she could feel herself growing sexually ecstatic. She placed the baby inside the oven and closed the door. The third little baby, not liking the looks of things, began to cry again. The sick, depraved psycho pushed the button for the oven to broil. Wow, this is amazing. She set the temperature to 475 degrees, turning on the light inside the oven. She pulled a chair over and sat down, looking at the third little baby, staring back at her and crying. Its frail, weak arms and legs moved uselessly in the air as the temperature in the oven began to rise. Its cries grew more shrill as the oven grew hotter and hotter. Then the sick, depraved psycho heard a hiss, an indication the third little baby's skin was beginning to burn. Its cries eventually stopped as its arms and legs dropped, and the sick, depraved psycho continued to watch for an hour and a half, watching the baby slowly roast inside the oven, and masturbating as she let out sharp releases of breath, laughing as her eyes bulged out of their sockets. This is great. Best story so far. Finally, when the baby had been cooked to a light brown, the sick, depraved psycho took the baby out, put it in a pan, and decorated the sides with vegetables. She began to laugh harder and harder, until finally she let out a horrific demonic cry, slamming the tables as tears streamed down her face. As she grabbed a butcher knife and swung it furiously in the air, she then did the unthinkable and plunged the knife deep into her uterus, stabbing the useless thing over and over again and hating herself so much that she couldn't stand it. She finally dropped dead to the floor, her eyes open wide, and the knife still embedded into her womb. The sick, depraved psycho had met her demise at her own hands. 3 hours later, the parents came home to the smell of something that smelled like meat. As they entered the kitchen, they saw the sick, depraved psycho dead on the floor with a knife plunged into her, and the mother let out a cry so animalistic and inhuman as she realized what the cooked slab of meat sitting on her table was. It would become a story that would make national headlines of an infertile, psychologically disturbed girl who murdered 3 little triplets and ended the sanity of their parents and her own life, and went on to shock every parent in the world into an irrational fear of woman babysitters at the end. True story. I'm still a hand. I really liked it. It's great. Yeah, so I'm still a hand. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if that'll ever be fixed. We're gonna go to the bathrooms. Oh, it's just more books. More books. Johnny Swartz whistled to himself as he walked home from his school, an extra beat in his step. Yeah, gonna get some good pussy tonight, he said to himself with a smirk on his face. It's gonna be a good night for Johnny. Upon reaching his home, however, he sensed something was off. The door was ajar, and it was strangely silent. He quickly ran inside and looked around, seeing nothing off. Suddenly, a jolt of pain hit him and he blacked out. As he groggily came to, he noticed his wrists and ankles were sore. He was in chains. As his vision returned and his mind stirred, his heart began to pound as he saw several people in front of him. It was his parents and Erica. "Hey," he cried. A lump started to form in his throat. His loved ones were hanging upside down, held by some sturdy rope. All of them were wide awake and had a look of fear in their eyes. "What's going on? What is this?" Johnny cried. As he struggled in his chains, a figure emerged from the shadows. Johnny was shocked to see it was only darkness, save for its narrow red eyes. "What the fuck is this?" The figure floated over to Erica, who started whimpering as she flailed in her chains. "Fuck her, leave her alone," Johnny cried. But he turned pale as he watched long, sharp fingers emerge from the shadowy figure. "No, no." The figure made a swift, striking motion. Erica let out a choking sound as a wound in her neck split open, pouring blood down her face. Guttural gurgling sounds and spasms of death shook through her body as the wound continued to pour blood. "Erica! Erica!" As the figure turned to look at Johnny, sinister whispers began to escape from the form of the figure. Johnny continued to cry for the dying Erica as the figure floated over to his mother. "No, leave my mother alone." The figure drew its long shadow fingers again, and with a swift motion, a wound split open on Johnny's mother, and her life began to pour out onto the ground inches below. Johnny shrieked and thrashed in his chains. It was useless. The whispers began to grow louder as the figure floated over to Johnny's father. "Dad, Dad, Dad, Dad." The figure once again drew its fingers. Johnny's father looked at him, his body coated in sweat and tears. As tears streamed down his cheeks, "Johnny," he said as his lower lip quivered, I love you." Before he could finish, the figure swung at Johnny's father's head, jerked back. A deep wound ripped its way across his neck, and like a slaughtered animal, he began to shake and thrash as his own life rapidly came to an end. Johnny was shaking and sobbing, unable to come to terms with the 3 deaths that had come to him. No, that would be wrong. The cold had not yet started to set in Erica's body. Johnny kept wishing he could wake up. The whispers were overwhelming now. As the figure floated over to Johnny, he could only look into its crimson eyes with fear and disbelief, unable to see how his life could have changed so drastically. He could not even ask the figure why. But his own mind began to swim, struggling for an answer. What could he have done in his short life that would bring this on to him? But he would not have time to reflect. The figure drew its fingers, and before Johnny could reach, darkness and pain struck, and he screamed before he knew it. He was blinded. His screams of pain did not drown out the whispers, and it wouldn't drown out his fate as his life came to a bitter end. Okay. How many more we got? Like, we got some more stories. Like, are these all written by the person who made the game, or are they like taken somewhere? I wonder. I'm gonna look this one up. Yeah, I can't find this on, like, search on Google. It looks like these are all written just for the game. That's pretty cool. Holly Myrick had little to care about the world. Money, looks, and fame. Well, if you could call being popular in high school that. Is it Molly or is Holly? Holly was the sort of person men desired, loathed, and objectified simultaneously. Speeding down the city streets, her radio blasting her favorite pop song, Holly swerved to avoid an idiot who nearly came into her lane. "Asshole!" she screamed as she honked her horn and smacked her chewing gum, annoyed. She adjusted her large, bug-eyed sunglasses as she came to a stoplight. There was a beauty appointment. She was not one who kept vanity waiting. Unfortunately, the morons on the road didn't care about her needs. Unable to wait any longer for the light to change, she moved into the rightmost lane to make a turn. As she looked to the left for oncoming cars, her sandals got caught on the accelerator and the car sped forward. She let out a shriek as her car gained speed and jerked the steering wheel. The car bumped up onto the sidewalk and slammed into a mother and daughter pair. A splatter of blood hit the windshield as the mother fell to the side and the young girl bounced and tumbled on the hood. Finally, Holly managed to jerk the car to a stop and the little girl rolled off the hood and slammed against the concrete. As she tried to regain her senses, she jerked her head towards the windshield, now bloody and cracked. Her heart rate jolted skywards as she heard an awful, inhuman shriek. She could only sit there in shock as the mother stumbled over to the body of her daughter, motionless in the face. Down on the sidewalk, her cries were in Spanish. Holly had no idea what the woman was saying, but she knew one thing. Her life was, as she knew it, over. With the likely death of this young girl, everything Holly knew was going to crumble to an end. She was stiff in denial, unable to accept that this wasn't a dream. Fuck, she thought, fuck, how could this happen to her? She couldn't go to jail. She was above this. This was some sort of godforsaken call to end her life. This began to well up in Holly's eyes as she shook. It was over. Her life was over. Her short, wonderful life was going to dry out until it reached the long and miserable end. Oh, that was it? Okay. Pre-2010s creepypastas. Pre-2010s creepypastas. Pre-current decade creepypastas. Pre-creepypasta creepypastas. Man, I used to read creepypastas back in like 2011. And they were pretty good back then, usually. No, like... There was a higher percentage of good ones, is what I mean to say. Okay. When the skies grow dark, there will come a day where the earth is engulfed in a sea of darkness, and the chasms that once contained the demons will release them. This day will come when the seething hatred of that which ends is come to realization. When the last of the holy life is drained, it will come. The pieces have been arranged. The holy life will fall. The executioner will end the life. The soul shall be given deliverance to the past. The scapegoat and sacrifice will play out their roles. It will result in the emergence of a new order, an order of darkness run by the very sins of humanity. Sins will corrupt. It will even bring an end to the pure, the good, if the soul is destroyed. May the end come. Repent not, for you will not be saved from wrath once the skies have grown dark. There's a little lore for you. I'm still a hand. Will this ever be fixed? Book of Torment. Envy, wrath, pain, and suffering. These words have been overused. Its meanings have become simplified. The true power of these words, however, have not diminished, as it is contained still within this book. The meanings can finally come to fruition with the birth of the tyrant, the pain elemental. They will bring suffering into the rod of the damned. This book has lost much of its power from the summoning of the bringer of justice, but there is still enough to call upon wrath. Oh, what? You got me. You got me. You got me. Thank you for that. That's what I like. There wasn't really a jump scare at all. That's what I like when there's like no jump scares and then you get one like 4 hours into the game. That's actually pretty good. That's how it should be done. Cry little one, for you are alone, gone. Because I wasn't expecting that. Your mom is, for she is taken bone by bone. Cry little one, you're lost. Yeah. I don't like poems. Death, it has come to take in, for you've sinned. Okay, so are there any more books to read? I don't even know where I am, because I checked the map and that was supposed to be like the bathroom. Oh, that's the young adult section, okay. So I was in the children and young adult section. Was I in the main staff? Let's check. Yeah, I was here. So now we're gonna go to the bathrooms. Yeah, he's still dead. Yeah, maybe you were right, Franco. Maybe we should all just die. There's more books. Yes. No, not anymore. Whoa. Devious torture and death methods. Crop picker. The victim should be securely bound, arms and legs spread, the limbs extensions exposed. Cut fingers and toes at the joints, applying pressure and preventing excess blood loss as process is made. Go clockwise until hands and feet lack fingers and toes. Should victim still live, begin to dice the limbs until victim has expired. Harvest. Apply anesthesia to the victim below the neck. Cut them open from the chest down to the stomach. Expose their... Oh, I was saying this before. I know this one. I know harvest. Expose their internal organs to the open air, then fill their insides with I don't know that word. I'm stupid. Make sure the victim is contained so that when the beetles finish consuming the organic substance of the victim, it does not stray to consume other things. This involves sacrifice. Precious. Bind the victim so it cannot escape. Do the same for the victim's loved ones. Give victim a hopeless chance to free itself from its bindings. Either placing keys, sharp objects, or the like nearby but out of reach. Execute the sacrifices. It should be painful, but not prolonged. Slitting the throat is recommended, or any form of making them bleed out. Make sure victims see the death. I've went too far. Before the sacrifice expired, the victim should be left to die alone. Sinker. Victims should be securely bound, so as they cannot move their arms, legs, or head. Put the victim in a narrow cylindrical tank or container. Begin a flow of water onto the tank. The water should pour onto the victim's head, and it should be constant until the tank fills and the victim expires from drowning. To prolong the process, drain the water as the victim begins to suffocate, and repeat the drowning process again as is desired. Redemption. This is a method beyond torture. It is systematically breaking down the victims on a level where sacrifices are staggering, and for one to use this method is to irreversibly change the world. Okay. A secret torture method. Nothing is more beautiful than reaping the rewards for suffering. A truly skillful pain elemental knows the thresholds of its victims and how much pain to inflict upon them. Pain elementals maximize the suffering of the mighty, for they are the meat from which the nourishment comes best. An effective pain elemental will separate society from the victim, in a word, bring about a new realm of pain, one that the humankind could not inflict upon each other out of blindness to their self-created power structure. So it is to say that those who suffer from the wrath of other human beings make poor nourishment for the pain elemental. It is those that have taken a generous sum of power from society, building suffering to promote their well-being. This is where the pain elemental stands to find a wonderful harvest, collapsing this power structure in exchange for the physical, emotional, and psychological anguish of the heartless, ignorant, and well-to-do. Will make for a source the pain elemental can feed off of for a very long time to come. Summoning the pain elemental. Summoning a pain elemental requires only one thing: pain. Any sort of pain will do, but raw pain is the most potent, and will feed and bring about the creature quicker than the brought that brought about by discomfort from an artificial pleasure produced by society, that is to say, those who benefit from the suffering of others do the pain elemental the benefit of giving it nourishment. Whether the pain is physical or emotional, the pain elemental feeds and enjoys its cuisine of suffering. Ignorance and greed are ingredients it cherishes, for that brings about the oppression of others. However, the suffering is simply not enough to bring the creature about. An icon must be crafted to represent the need for the creature to arise. The icon must be created through the use of suffering, but it must also not bring about suffering to others. This icon will absorb the taint and work as a point of focusing for the summoning of the pain elemental. The icon will be used to summon the elemental through sacrifices. The icon must be destroyed by one higher up on the hierarchy, one free of the taint society is inflicting onto others. The one who will sacrifice the icon should hold a strong emotional connection to the icon in some way. Once the icon has been sacrificed, the pain elemental will be given the chance to rise, use the pain as harvested, and return it to its feed tenfold. In this way, the pain elemental will be able to feed as long as those who are suffering live. Eventually, the creature's food source will diminish, and those that created the suffering will die out, unable to suffer no more. Should that day come, the pain elemental will hibernate until the people once again create an environment fit for feeding on. I wish my library was like this. Monsters and demons. There are several beasts in existence that seek the flesh of other living creatures to satisfy its blind desire to kill. They are always dangerous and frightening to behold. Sicrius, an agile, dangerous creature with a pulsating eye and deadly tentacles, it conceals itself in dark and tight spaces, often ambushing its prey. They are particularly vulnerable when struck in the eye, and their tentacles are often used to choke and strangle their victims. Horaganak, slow, relentless creatures that thrive in deep and damp environments and toxic regions. I went too far. Let me go back. Composition of decaying bacteria. Its insides are highly acidic and often sprays victims with a chemical that eats away rapidly at flesh, often finishing its prey by clamping onto its target. Prindigious. A fearsome, tough snake-like creature that burrows deep underground, using its hot-blooded sensors to detect prey. Upon finding a likely victim, it pushes out of the ground as it attempts to jab its victim and crush it into a massive bloody jelly suitable for digesting. Hell guardians, almost human-like in form, these guardians of another realm are encompassed in a dark mist, their demon-red eyes piercing through the blackness, its double-ended sickle extra jagged for maximum pain. Defying gravity and physics, it can float through a wall to surprise its victims. Thine deity. The demons had to come from somewhere, and so a name is given to what is believed to be the source of the creatures. If it can create such chaos, one can only imagine the demon god's wrathful strength. To face thine deity would be to suffer a tragedy that makes death a blessing. Okay, well, I think we're good on that. The air immediately changes as you enter the room. A pair of burning, hateful eyes pierce your soul, and you feel your heart skip a beat. A terrible aura emanates from the center of the room. Staying would be a bad idea. But I have to go there, right? Or no? Pretty sure I have to go there, but I'm gonna save first. Rest in peace. What do I have to do then? Oh, apparently it can save Franco. So... RIP. So that could have happened. So apparently we're supposed to be looking for a demon, even though we just kind of got killed by one. We're just following the guide now. Actually, I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna cut this. Hey, I'm back. I have fixed the hand issue. I only have about 1 hour left that I can do for part 2, so yeah, about an hour. So I think I know where to go now. Very much glad I was able to fix that though. We missed the did we read this? Oh yeah, we did. That's the really fucked up one. So apparently the monster's like, oh yeah, there it is. Fuck you. Who's Sarah? Congratulations, Mr. Reed, you found me. Who the fuck is Sarah? Ha, me? Following you? Where'd you get that narcissistic idea from now? Your latest comic book? Fine, so maybe I was going the same way you were going. So what? Why do you have to make a big deal about it? Big deal out of it. You stalked me through the woods, followed me into the library, locked the door, and then... You killed Franco? See, I would have killed him, man. Oh. Oh, you know. He wanted to be peaceful, though. In death. I don't know who Sarah is. Did I miss the backstory? Total drama queen. So, yeah. Not sure where to go now. Oh shit. Yeah, we need to... Oh, it somehow killed it. Did we? We didn't kill it. I need to... Don't let yourself live any longer, and now, end your life now, or your suffering will only worsen. Take Cheney's life as well. Let both your sufferings end now. And not want to face the evil reed. It will consume your soul. Your love for the one you had given the ring to is strong within it, as the love for the girl you have given your soul to is what stopped me from taking your life to church. Church forbid you enter. That's stupid. Oh, the power of love. I hate that. Bah, math. I don't know how much longer I can put up with all these blasted numbers. Or these lustful morons kissing each other in front of me. Shh, 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 shh. You too. Hate these people. Math's easy. Just math it. Just math it. Ever since I met you, I've been quite fond of you. Whoa. I'm sorry, I'm too much of a pussy to have a girlfriend. I'd rather suck a billion dicks, 'cause I have long hair and look like a girl. Sigh, what I wouldn't give to have things back to the way they were then. Anything but this terror. Even if we can't have those days back, I just need to find her. Okay. Let's read it. Sure. I need to... Can I use the crisis kit now? Wow, that's a lot. Let's not use that though. Here we go. So, you know, we've been together for 1 year. I'm so happy with what he got me. It was a ring, very beautiful. It had a pearl in the center with small diamonds on the side. Silver was twisted gracefully around the pearl, and it fit perfectly on my ring finger. He told me he got it because it was graceful as I was, my heart and soul. I was so touched. Not that he got me such a wonderful ring, but the thought he put into it when he got it for me. I feel the ring is now embedded with our love. If time were to come where something dire would happen, it would protect. I know it sounds silly, but I feel it has such power. Tonight was a very passionate night. I can't remember our love being stronger than this. We kept moaning each other's names, climaxing, then climaxing. No. Take note, Johnny and Crystal. This is how you have a good relationship. Yeah. Crystal doesn't appreciate John's gifts. And John's a cuck. Reed's not a cuck, but he's still a faggot. In my eyes. There's another John diary. It wasn't a special day. Today wasn't a day special to me. But it certainly was for Reed and Hannah, their first anniversary. Reed always seems so distant and glum. I guess when you're single and you hang around two friends who are a couple, it can be a bit depressing. Well, it's been over a year since they've been together. I don't know how long they've known each other before that, but I know Hannah was the one who got things going. She has more guts than Reed, it seems. He's pussy. He always seems so quiet and reserved. You can be quiet and reserved and not be a pussy. I wish them the best. Thinking about their anniversary reminds me of my own anniversary with Crystal. I certainly wouldn't forget it. I hope we stay together forever. Yeah, right. I don't, can we go there now? Is that always going to be like that? I guess we're leaving. I guess you just can't go in there for some reason. So we're moving on. I could end it here. I'm not. I don't know which way we're going. I think we're going this way where the zombies were. See, they're gone now. But there's still rocks in the way. Yeah, okay. Seeing if there's anything down here. Sorry, just adjusting volumes. Okay. What in the world? It's a demon church now. Oh, that's the... No, that's just like a demon door blocking the way. Cool music. How do I reload? There we go. God. You can't afford to level up in this game because it's bad. Really puts you on the edge. Okay, who's this? It's John. Fuck, man. God, you know, that thing is just disgusting. Why do we have money? Not the right way for sure. Nope. Nope. What is this? We're supposed to be here? Probably not. Fuck is this? Shit. Oh, what is that? Am I supposed to be going this way? Let's reload. Supposed to be going to the church. I don't know where the fuck. This is really kind of confusing, but it should be confusing considering the plot of the game, you know. So that's not the way of the church then? Okay. Got an Uzi. Cool. I should be using the rifle though. I really do have no clue where I'm going though. I guess he disappeared. Just went in and out and disappeared. So. And the music stopped as well. This is the way. I think this is the church. Yeah. Yeah. See if there's any items over here. Nah. So, it's a lot of rooms. Should I leave it here? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here because we just got to the church. So, yeah, it's kind of been like one area per part, so. I haven't done many multi-part games. I did recently I did Shivering Celestial. That was a bad game. The Central Station I had 4 parts of. That was a really good game. I liked. You should probably check that out if you like RPG Maker. Just chill stuff. I mean, that one was more surreal than horror. It wasn't really horror at all or creepy. Okay, so that's it. Yeah. Part 2.